Welcome to Sphere. I am Price Time, and you're watching Sphere TV. With the launch of multiple new solidly DEX forks, Dyson is introducing an expanding number of liquid wrapper solutions. Part of that liquid wrapper solution is the integration of bribe revenue into the returns for Dyson's Vault users. But this begs the question of why are there bribes in the first place? To better understand bribes, we first need to refresh our understanding of how VE33 solidly fork DEXs work. We can use the newly launched Satin exchange on Polygon as an example, but this applies to all solidly fork protocols that function the same way. On a fundamental level, VE33 DEXs seek to align interests of two groups of people: liquidity providers and governance stakers. Liquidity providers can deposit tokens into liquidity pools to earn token emissions, in this case Satin token emissions. Often, liquidity providers will want to sell those earned emissions as profit to use elsewhere and/or to compound back into their liquidity position. Governance stakers, on the other hand, are those who are interested in taking their Satin emissions, pairing them with cash tokens into a Satin Cash LP, and then vote locking, aka vesting their tokens from anywhere between 7 to 365 days. The longer the lock period, the stronger the voting power in VE Satin, and the greater the possible emission yield boost when voting. This makes voting, well, powerful. First, liquidity pools cannot receive Satin emissions unless they are voted on by VE Satin. And the more votes a pool receives, the more emissions the pool receives for liquidity providers. Second, after voting on a pool, VE Satin holders earn swap fees from the swap volume of that pool. This creates an aligned goal between both liquidity providers and governance stakers, because the pool with the deepest liquidity will generate the most swap volume and swap fee revenue, and therefore will attract the most votes, thereby providing the highest amount of emissions for liquidity providers. This is the VE33 model, but that is not all for vote lockers. Third, when voting on a pool, VE Satin holders earn any bribe rewards directed towards those pools. Bribes are typically in the form of either token within the liquidity pool, but can expand to other tokens depending on the protocol. Unlike in traditional finance, bribing in DeFi is not only an acceptable way of incentivizing votes and therefore emissions to a liquidity pool, but it is also capital efficient. Let's say that you are a new protocol that just launched and you have protocol-owned liquidity that you want to start yield farming. With your liquidity on a VE33 DEX, you can offer incentives to attract votes and maximize emissions awarded to your liquidity pools. This is capital efficient because every $1 used to bribe votes typically yields more than $1 in emissions. In simpler terms, bribing is profitable for yield farmers too. This creates an ecosystem where projects looking to incentivize liquidity can use bribes to earn a profit with yield farming, and governance stakers can earn bribe revenue on top of other protocol rewards. Now, with its effective liquid wrapper solutions, Dyson is steadily making its mark in DeFi. These liquid wrappers, in combination with the structure of Vault performance fees, allows Dyson to constantly acquire more and more VE tokens of these VE33 DEXs. These VE tokens can then be used by the protocol to incentivize liquidity pools for boosted emissions, to earn swap fee revenue, and to earn bribe revenue. By directing these revenue streams back to Dyson Vault users, Dyson has created a system where it can provide the highest possible amplified yield for users without needing those users to vote lock their tokens themselves. Not only that, but once Dyson has acquired enough voting power down the road, it can start voting on pools for which it does not have vaults, but that have high bribe incentives. Those additional bribe rewards can be streamlined back to Dyson Vault users, amplifying yield even further. Collectively, this allows Dyson to become the go-to platform for yield, governance, and therefore liquidity for these platforms thanks to Dyson's liquid wrapper solutions. Eventually, this voting power will transition to the hands of VE Sphere holders, who will be able to direct that voting power, but that is a topic for a later time. And of course, that is not the only thing we have up our sleeve for Dyson and Sphere. Visit us on Discord to stay up to date on announcements and join our community. This video and channel is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Thanks for watching, and always remember that you matter for who you are. More and more VE tokens of these VE33 tokens.